Hey everyone, I wanted to talk about a position that I'm currently in, which is GEO, and you may hear me sound a little bit funny. I've just had some dental work done, so some of my words are sounding off. But I wanted to explain just what I was looking at, what my thoughts are, and hopefully this could help. And again, this is just my opinion. I could be totally wrong at the end of the day, but this is how I'm looking at this trade. So I was looking at this. This came on my radar on January 2nd. I liked what I saw here from a strength perspective. It really shot up. And if we, shrink this down a little bit, it really shot up here with a lot of strength. And then we started getting this nice long base. It's not as long as I would like, but the longer the better in a base. So if I look at, let's say it's arbitrary, but let's say I took it from here, we're looking at about 35 bars, which is a decent, would I like to see more? Yeah, but it's definitely basing. So if we go back to the day that I was looking at it, which was January 2nd, let me zoom in a little bit. So basically what I was looking at was, this came on my radar. I said, hey, look, it's gone up. It has a contraction here, which was, a little bit large, but it's okay. And then what was interesting here is that, and this is what I like to see, is a shakeout. So it knocked these people out. So whoever was holding with these logical stop, they've got shooken out. And that's something that you want to see in the market because, as Mark always says, we're all weak holders. You want to be the last weak holder. So can these people get shooken out? So I thought that there was a nice little, line coming through here on where I would like to buy it. So I'm going to move to the next day. I'm going to move out a little bit and I'll show you where I bought it. So I bought it on this day where this green line is and this green arrow. And you'll see I bought it breaking out of the day prior, so the second. So I bought it at this line right there. So basically I had an order in the night before and I wanted to just buy it above the close, etc. So I saw it had a little bit of strength and I bought it. And then I put my stop at a logical stop here. So I bought at 28.57 on the 3rd and I put a stop at 27.10. Now I just picked this arbitrary day, 27.15, and I just put it below. Not so much arbitrary, but I want to give it some room. And if we look at, more approximately, this is, call it a little bit more than a 5% stop. So what has happened since? Since I bought it on this day, we've had 1, 2, 3 good closes. This one's borderline because it basically closed in the middle, but I'll call that 4 out of 4 good closes, or 3 out of 5 if you want to be a stickler, which is strength, right? The thing that we really like to see also was that, the volume when I was buying it still was contracting. If you could see here, see how the volume kept coming down? And that's what you want to see. So volume doesn't always have to come in on the day you buy it. It can come in a couple days later, a few days after. And so you see what happened here, just it's contracting. And this was a decent sized contraction, so it's only like 5% here, single digits, which is good. Would I have liked it to become a little bit less? Yes. On the day I bought it, what I did like also was that the following day was an inside day, so it was only about less than 4%. So that keeps telling me that there's accumulation. Now, the market has not been great at the beginning of this year, but this bang sign of strength is a good confirmation for me as well. And if we switch to a weekly, and I'm just going to hide these lines. You know, on a weekly chart, this thing is looking great. And you see that the time frames. So first of all, again, another thing that I really like, all-time high RS, which is excellent. You know, it shot up with strength, which is, you know, it's not a power play or anything, but, you know, it still had a good, you know, it had 100% on the weekly, but, you know, from a dormant place. And then now I'm looking for this contraction. So for example, it's come up, let's call it, maybe it is a power play, 100%. And then it's only given back like 13%. So this is signs of strength for me, right? So that means a lot of people are buying, but they're holding it. There's a lot of accumulation going on. And you see how tight it looks on a weekly. Now and we look at on a weekly, you know, we've had weekly highs, like this is a weekly high, this is a weekly high. It keeps, you know, here's another high on 3 weekly highs in a row, which is very interesting. So this is a stock that I'm looking to hold, probably into a larger move right now. So generally people will say, okay, well, are you de-risking it? Another thing that I want to look at is if we measure here to my original stop, we have like 13% almost. So many people would want to tighten their stops. Now, again, I could be wrong here, but I tend to want to look at the character of a stock. So for example, if I look at this contraction, which was, you know, call it 11 something percent, and then I look at this contraction, which is 13%. So for me, it's not uncommon, or the characteristic of this stock is that it could pull back to 13 or so percent. So I want to give this thing some room right now. Now, everybody has their own opinions here. Tighten the stop, sell half, de-risk, all of that is fine. But I'm looking at it right now, not doing anything wrong. And if I were to tighten my stop, let's say to my buy point, which was here, that would only give me a 7.3% stop. And from the current price, obviously my risk is only about 5%, but I want to give this stock enough room because this looks to me like a big leader. It's had a big run. It's consolidating right now, and it gave me signs of strength in a weak market a couple days ago. So I technically want to give this some room, and if I were to tighten my stop more, and that's why I kind of want to leave it here, because this is about 13% or so from where it is right now. That's characteristic of what the stock has moved in the past. So can it keep consolidating? Now, obviously, I want to see more contraction, tighter moves, and then it take off. Now, if it starts to go higher, I will definitely look to backstop and move my stop up to a reasonable amount, and then maybe start hugging, you know, a moving average like the 20-day, for example, which is the 20-day is just hitting my buy price. I may wait till the 10-day to hit my buy price, and then maybe move my stop and start riding the 10-day or the 20-day. But for right now, it's not doing anything wrong. I plan to hold this for a larger move, and I'm giving it some room. Could I have sold half and kept half? Absolutely. Could I have sold it all into the strength? Absolutely. You know, and the idea is that when you have earnings, you have options. When you have gains, you have options. So currently I'm holding it. Again, this is only my opinion. I think that this stock has some room to go. It could turn around and go to hell on me tomorrow. And there's many of them have happened to me, and many that I thought were good. But I just wanted to share my thought process on how I'm looking at, you know, higher highs for the week. How did the weekly closes? How many good closes versus bad closes? Those are things I look at when I want to hold on to a name. And so far for me, this name is not doing anything wrong. It's actually got a few things good, like it's had some weekly highs, new high RS, 3 weekly highs. It's up about 8% from, on Thursday's volume. So all of these are interesting, and it's contracted now. It's starting to see some volume showing up. Now, would I like to see a bigger move? Absolutely. I hope this is helpful. It's how I'm playing this particular name. I may or may not share when I sell it or what I made on it, but I'm not going to, this is a regular size position with a regular risk reward configuration. Let me know if you guys think these type of videos are helpful in the comments. Thanks.